So, for the record, because I feel that since I posted less than 12 hours ago information about Tingley, there have already been aliases that have been put up to easily find who this person might be, which kind of makes me a little bit nervous because I have also a couple, my YouTube channel is so small, but yet I had a couple people reach out to me in like a peculiar type of way to clarify things that don't typically engage with me, that make me feel like they're just like sleepers on my page, just watching what I do, obviously. And before more things creep up, I wanted to go back and just record this for my phone. I took some screenshots, but where are we? When I went back to look at Tingley's, now there's seemingly information that with photos, and I can tell you I didn't screen cap yesterday or the day before when I was looking at this, but this picture wasn't there before. It wasn't. It wasn't up there. It wasn't up there on the Google search. But when you do it, now it's the second one. And when you click on it, it brings you miraculously to this Kevin E. Tingley, who is listed in Ansonia, Connecticut. And it gives you information. Again, wasn't on the search just 24 hours ago, but it's up there now. Just from how, is that coincidence? At some point, I don't know, you have to look at coincidence. And I am not like a researcher into people. I'm not a private investigator. It would be too time consuming, and I have other things I need to do in life, right? Kevin Tingley, it's not the most unusual name. I don't know how far Ansonia, Connecticut is from everywhere else, but I'd have to look. And I think that it's probably best for me to do screen caps for information like this at this juncture because document. That being said, and not to harass or put anyone's identification out there because I do understand the rules and regulations of YouTube. If I put this information out there, they're going to shut my channel down because they're going to say that I'm identifying someone and that that I'm identifying someone, and that would be kind of considered harassing. But I think it's interesting and important to kind of probably document the different. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I should turn the brightness up to see who's listed. Kevin Grant Tingley, age 39, Margaretville, New York. That's interesting because Grant, I believe, is the middle name for the other person who is actually 45. The thing is, it's so easy to, it would be so easy, so very easy to create an online person, put a picture up, and create a whole entire bibliography of someone. And, one of the two that I find suspicious is someone who left me a message that says they're a genealogist who wanted to specify that these are two separate people. And that she may be. She may be a genealogist. They may be two separate people. But I'm not going to believe that just because she tells me that, or that I come across some other information that suggests that there might be a separate person, because to me right now there's more information that suggests it needs to be looked into. And there's a lot of different legs to look into it. I think that there's too many coincidences in real estate purchase sale, voter voter history, as well as um, their location and involvement in the Sandy Hook school shooting. Now it says, no, isn't that before? Because before it said they were 30. And I'm screen capping this. So now it's updated. It's almost like all this information is being updated almost at the time, you know. Maybe I shouldn't have put that video out there first. Maybe I should have really more information about these individual people first, huh? This is this seems like the person now, right? New York. Doesn't even mention Connecticut though, which is unusual because this person would have to be mentioned in Connecticut because they registered and voted there between 2006 and 2016, it looked like, didn't it? There's something here. I know that there is. I know I mean, when I say I know, it is my opinion, it is my belief, I have a feeling, it is my, in my hypothetical clockwork orange mind, there was a mistake made. That name was put out there, whether it was a mistake or I'm not sure why they would do that, but there's something there. There's something there. No, an innocent mistake doesn't mean everybody and everything that happened at Sandy Hook didn't happen. If that were just an innocent mistake, but I don't necessarily. I think the mistake might have been an innocent mistake, but I don't think the reason why it was made was necessarily innocent, if that makes sense. And, this isn't what I do. Surely there are private investigators out there who have looked into this information, who know that there's something going on. And if I could find just this little piece and look, I'm quite a distance from Connecticut, but and this person obviously has moved around, and I'm gonna note probably weird things happening with my electronics after this, if the weird things were happening anyway, but probably more so. But these are the images when you put in Kevin Tingley, Connecticut. And I did this again 24 hours ago, didn't have that. As a matter of fact, all these photos are different than the initial photos. His picture's still up here. His was there yesterday on the online. This guy's was not. If it was down further. I didn't see it. His picture was there yesterday. There was an old guy. There were a couple old guys. One guy standing on the shoreline. I don't see him there right now. It's almost as if somebody went in there and changed up the search data information. It sounds crazy, but I know what I looked at yesterday. I know what went to look, that there were the two, and guess what? This Ansonia, Connecticut, it wasn't up there. Nope. Did you just see that? It said there's two records. You just seen two records found, right, in Spokeo, because there have been two. There have been two up until just now. Now there are three. Now there are the Stamford, the Naugatuck, and the Ansonia, and that's new. Kevin G. Tingley, who is listed now in Margarettsville, New York, and Stamford and all this. That's the person right here who's I definitely connected to being part of the EPA. This is someone that's the guy who's obviously well documented online as being part of the EPA. Then you have this Kevin E. Tingley, who I was questioning they don't put his middle initial here, but who supposedly part of always in genealogy, the genealogist who said he's always lived in Connecticut. Okay, so now they have two. Now they have again the three. So let's go and see what this person, the Ansonia, Connecticut. Kevin Tingley may also have lived outside of Ansonia, such as okay. So I wonder when this. Was created. When was this Spokeo page created? Because this is brand spanking new. This was not listed just 24 hours ago. Okay, it wasn't. There was only two. There's only been two, and you can see that. I'm going to go back again so you can see. You see there's 1, 2, and 3 right there. And if you go to the regular Google page, it says 2 records found. And that's because up until 24 hours ago, not even 24 hours ago, there were just 2. Now there's another one listed right there. So I'm looking right now at information being changed, like in real time. In real time. And this is just documenting. I'm just documenting what that is. Because I feel like I need to. If this is really the case for someone like me, I have like 1,400, maybe not even less than 1,400 subscribers on my page, and I've been on YouTube for maybe less than a year. And while I definitely do have my political rants and so forth, to garnish any sort of unless it's just I put the word out, anybody, not just me, but anybody uses keywords. Like if soon as somebody says Sandy Hook, maybe you go on maybe it gets picked up. Maybe someone's assigned. Is somebody assigned a case? Is somebody assigned to monitor different people to make sure that they either think that they're going crazy or that what is it? Because look, I have it doesn't do anything to me for someone to try to drive me crazy. Nobody could drive me crazier than I drive myself. Kevin Edward Tingley. And so this person said they have different, they're different people. Okay. There they are here. Anything that's online, it's not like I trust it. It's not. So then somebody can say, oh, well, then why do I trust something else that I read online? Well, no, what I trust is that the official Connecticut State Police report that specifically named persons who were involved in that cleanup was an actual document. Okay. So everything else in social media, is subject to be tampered with and changed. It would be so entering data in some data bank to have it to be infiltrated into different to create an entire entire Twitter pages and Facebook pages and MySpace pages and history. And and unfortunately, like I'm not here, this is who says I'm an experienced genealogist. There's people, Kevin Tingley and Kevin Edward Tingley. They are both 45. Kevin Grant Tingley has lived all over U.S. and moves often. This would be the person associated with EPA. She's saying this Edward Tingley has lived in that area his whole life. Completely different guys. And I'm not saying that she's wrong. I don't know this for a fact. What I'm saying is that it needs to be looked into because I think it has imperative implications on what has been reported about the Sandy Hook school shooting. That's all I'm saying. Completely different guys, okay? She says she sees all their extended family and they're different. That's fine. And my response, because everything I write is in haiku, it's like I said, how do you know that? His name wasn't created to fix a mistake, you know? And so someone else once has written back about that. And just this other person, I don't know who WH is, but they recently popped up once before. And I'm a very suspicious person. And so suspicious that if you're even listening to this video, it's probably because I just shared this with you selectively because I trust you and I need to share such information with others who can follow along just to get feedback from. But I'm pretty positive this is not going to be made generally public on my YouTube. And if these people are this clever to be able to have me pop up on their radar to kind of respond, then chances are if I even upload this anywhere, or even that I'm recording it on my phone, you see, I'm thinking in process. It's like in real time. Even if I upload this on my phone, even like what I'm saying now is being recorded. So in some ways, I feel like you're either, as a person who is going to unearth anything, either has to crawl under a rock and not share it with anybody, or to stick that middle finger up to everybody and say, fuck you, don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I'm not fucking buying anyone's bullshit. You can think I'm a paranoid bitch, I don't really care, but look at this, because that's the only way information gets out there, when people are really willing to stick their neck out and not care if somebody calls them crazy, or they get, like, you know, kind of sent out there to sink on their own boat because other people don't want to kind of be affiliated. I think it is so, I know this event has been like an imperative turning point in our history as far as the agenda against Americans, not just for gun grab. I mean, yes, part of it is to diminish our freedoms, but part of it is also part of fucking with everyone's mind. It's like we are lab rats. It kind of goes back to creating artificial intelligence. I keep tracking back to Bridgewater, and I know maybe there are just a couple of you who even understand the associations that I'm making with that. But and it could be that I'm wrong. I'm not saying that I know I'm right. I'm not saying that I know I'm right. That needs to be gone through. All right. I can't seem to even pull back up the other pages that I had that kind of go through. I took some screenshots of it. Maybe I'll just put it in a compilation, but I guess. All right, have a good day.